Elon Musk just exposed Tesla's biggest weapon, and luxury EV makers are panicking. The Model 2's interior leak specs show a 12.3-inch touchscreen with 1,500 nits brightness, outshining even the iPhone Pro Max. It responds in under 200 milliseconds, faster than Mercedes and BMW systems in $50,000 EVs. Tesla crammed hospital-grade HEPA filters, 50-watt wireless charging, and seats with heating and cooling, all into a $20,000 car. How is this even possible without Tesla losing money on every unit? What's the real strategy here? Let's talk about that 12.3-inch touchscreen, because honestly, this is where my brain starts short-circuiting. The Chevy Bolt costs $28,000 and gives you 10.2 inches. The Nissan Leaf is $29,000 for 8 inches. Most budget EVs barely scrape together 7 inches of screen, and here comes Tesla, dropping a 12.3-inch display into a $20,000 car like it's no big deal. But wait, it gets crazier. This screen pumps out 1,500 nits of brightness. That matches the iPad Pro. That crushes the iPhone 14's 1,200 nits. The 120 Hz refresh rate makes scrolling feel like butter, while competitors are stuck at choppy 60 Hz displays that feel like they're running on dial-up internet. And that response time? Under 200 milliseconds. The Mercedes EQS, a $105,000 luxury sedan, takes 250 milliseconds to register your touch. A $20,000 Tesla just smoked a six-figure Mercedes in response speed. I keep asking myself the same question. How is Tesla not losing money on every single unit? Display technology at this performance level costs $400 to $600 per screen at automotive scale. Either Elon's playing 4D chess with supply contracts, or Tesla's burning cash to destroy the competition. Neither answer makes me feel comfortable, but both possibilities are absolutely fascinating. Tesla ripped out 50 physical buttons from this interior. 50 buttons, gone. And I'll be honest, when I first heard this, I thought it was typical Elon being extra. But then the numbers started making sense in a way that's actually kind of scary for traditional automakers. Every button in a car costs $15 to $25 when you add up materials, assembly, testing, and warranty coverage. Multiply that by 50 buttons. Tesla just slashed $750 to $1,250 from their manufacturing costs while making the cabin look more expensive. That's not minimalism. That's business warfare dressed up as interior design. Here's the part that really got me thinking. Those haptic sensors replacing the buttons? They're rated for 500,000 cycles compared to 100,000 for regular buttons. Tesla didn't just cut costs, they built something more reliable. And that sub-200 millisecond response means you get faster feedback than a Lucid Air with its fancy rotary controls. What Tesla's really doing here is retraining your brain. Once you experience instant touchscreen response for climate control, volume, autopilot engagement, you're never going to be happy mashing physical buttons again. It's the same thing Apple did when they killed the keyboard on phones. They didn't just change their product, they changed what we expect from everyone else's products. 5 years from now, button-filled dashboards are going to feel ancient. This is where things get technical, but stay with me because this is actually the most important part of the whole vehicle. That dashboard is made from carbon biocomposite that handles 80 megapascals of tensile load. The Chevy Bolt and Nissan Leaf use ABS plastic that maxes out at 60 megapascals. That's 33% stronger, sure, but strength isn't the story. Weight is the story. This dashboard weighs 4.5 kilograms. Traditional dashboards hit 6 to 7 kilograms. Tesla shaved off 2.5 kilograms from one component. The seats weigh 12 kilograms each, with heating, cooling, and 12-way electric adjustment. These features usually add weight, but Tesla made them lighter than basic seats. Here's why this blows my mind. Every kilogram you cut from an EV adds roughly 2 to 3 miles of range. If Tesla reduces total vehicle weight by 100 kilograms through smarter materials, they just added 200 to 300 miles of range without touching the battery. Smaller battery, same range, lower costs, faster charging. What looks like an interior materials choice is actually a sneaky way to make batteries cheaper. That's the kind of thinking that makes me realize Tesla's playing a completely different game than everyone else. The rear legroom is 880 millimeters. The Model Y, which is literally 450 millimeters longer, offers 950 millimeters. Let me say that again. Tesla fit 93% of the Model Y's rear legroom into a car that's almost half a meter shorter. I've stared at these numbers for way too long, trying to figure out how this works without breaking the laws of physics. The answer is kind of obvious once you think about it, but most automakers haven't fully committed to it. No transmission tunnel eating up floor space, no exhaust routing, no massive engine bay. Tesla pushed the cabin forward, flattened the battery pack, and basically said, "Screw conventional automotive packaging, we're doing this our way." 4 adults sit comfortably in what's technically a subcompact car. Fold those rear seats down and you get 920 liters of cargo space. The Honda Civic, the gold standard for compact practicality, gives you 495 liters. Tesla just delivered 86% more cargo room in the same footprint. This is weekend camping trip capacity. This is IKEA furniture run capability. This is I don't need a bigger car territory at $20,000. And that's the brutal question traditional automakers have to answer now. If Tesla can do this at $20,000, why are $35,000 EVs still offering cramped cabins and tiny trunks? Hospital-grade HEPA filtration in a $20,000 car. I had to read that spec 3 times because it seemed like a typo. This filter captures 99.97% of PM 2.5 particles, the microscopic pollutants that burrow into your lungs and cause real health problems. In Los Angeles, Delhi, Beijing, when PM 2.5 levels spike above 100 micrograms per cubic meter, this cabin becomes cleaner than most people's homes. The microvent system, stolen from the Model S Plaid's playbook, uses 30% less energy than the old Model 3 HVAC. That saves about 0.5 to 0.7 kilowatt hours per hour, which adds up to 180 to 250 kilowatt hours annually. That's 600 to 900 miles of extra range per year just from more efficient air circulation. Meanwhile, budget EVs are using paper filters that barely stop pollen. But here's what really hit me about this decision. Tesla isn't building for 2026. They're building for 2035, when wildfire smoke and urban pollution aren't occasional problems, but regular daily concerns. This HEPA filter isn't a luxury feature today. It's a necessity feature for the future. Tesla's betting that in 10 years, buyers will remember which company cared about their health when air quality became a crisis. That's the kind of long-term thinking that either makes you a visionary or gets you fired for wasting money on features nobody asked for. Ambient lighting that syncs with your heartbeat. I know how that sounds. It sounds like gimmicky nonsense that'll be a bullet point in a press release and nothing more. But think about what's actually happening. Sensors in the seat are detecting your physiological state and adjusting the cabin environment in real time. This is biometric integration that creates an emotional connection between you and the car. The wireless charging pad hits 50 watts. Most cars offer 10 to 15 watts. Your phone reaches 50% in under 30 minutes. The rear USB-C port pumps out 100 watts, enough to fast charge a laptop. The Chevy Bolt gives you 10 watts. The Nissan Leaf doesn't even have wireless charging. Tesla turned this car into a mobile power station. And then there's the feature that made me stop and really think about Tesla's priorities. Child safety sensors in the rear seats that detect breathing patterns. Real-time alerts if a child is left in the car. Most budget EVs have seatbelt reminders and that's it. Tesla engineered active monitoring that could save kids' lives. This feature won't sell a single car, but it'll build the kind of trust that lasts decades. When I step back and look at everything together, I see a pattern that's honestly kind of terrifying for traditional automakers. Tesla cut buttons to reduce costs. They used advanced materials to save weight and boost range without bigger batteries. They threw in HEPA filters and 50-watt charging to make a $20,000 car feel like $40,000. They added biometric sensors and child safety tech to prove they care about things beyond profit margins. This isn't a car company trying to compete. This is a car company trying to make competition impossible. How does GM sell the Bolt EUV for $28,000 when it's worse in every category and costs $8,000 more? How does Nissan justify the Leaf at $29,000? They can't. Not with facts, not with logic. They'd have to rely on brand loyalty and hope people don't do the math. The question that keeps me up at night is whether Tesla can actually build this profitably at $20,000. If they're taking losses to grab market share, that's one thing. If they've genuinely figured out how to manufacture this efficiently, every other automaker just became obsolete. Their supply chains, their factory processes, their entire business model, all outdated overnight. My gut says Tesla cracked the code through vertical integration and ruthless simplification. They're doing what Toyota did in the 80s, but with 40 years of technology advancement behind them. The Model 2 isn't just a good deal. It's proof that the old way of building cars is dead. Here's your answer. How does Tesla fit $50,000 of tech into a $20,000 car? They rewrote the manufacturing playbook. Vertical integration cuts supplier costs. Removing 50 buttons saves $1,000 while improving reliability. Advanced materials reduce weight, shrinking battery needs, and extending range. Every choice serves double duty. The real genius? Tesla's competing on value density, cramming more capability per dollar than should be possible. The Model 2 forces every automaker to answer, why pay $30,000 for your EV when it's worse in every way? This is just the start. Model 2 launches late 2025. Generation 2 arrives 2027 with solid-state batteries and lower costs. The gap between Tesla and competitors isn't closing, it's widening. So here's my question for you. Would you buy the Model 2 over a gas car at the same price? What feature sold you, or what's holding you back? Drop your answer in the comments. If this breakdown gave you clarity, hit that like button. Subscribe to Tesla Zone for analysis you won't find elsewhere. Turn on notifications so you never miss what's coming next in the EV revolution. The future of affordable EVs just arrived. The question is whether the competition can survive it. Leaked images from Giga Texas just confirmed what insiders have been whispering. Tesla's Model 2 is real, priced at $30,000 and comes with factory Starlink. Not optional, standard. While competitors scrambled to cut costs on budget EVs, Tesla quietly weaponized satellite connectivity. The prototypes show gigapress molds casting 47% fewer parts, making this the fastest car to build in Tesla's history. But here's the real question. With 270 horsepower, 300-mile range, and global internet built in, how exactly does anyone compete with this? Let's talk about what everyone's tiptoeing around. Factory Starlink isn't just a nice-to-have feature. It's a chess move nobody saw coming. Tesla owns both ends, the car and the satellites 340 miles overhead. BYD can't do this. Volkswagen doesn't have satellites. Toyota can't suddenly launch a constellation. So what's Tesla really planning here? Internal sources say Giga Texas has been testing Model 2 prototypes